Smarts. But not all signals are good. If you don't pay attention, some things women say and do can have big effects on your love life and relationships. Today, we'll talk about 10 things a woman may say that should make you rethink the relationship and ask yourself if she really values your time and effort. Not only is this about becoming more self-aware, but it's also about making smart decisions about your future. The key is to understand and objectively analyze the complexities of relationships while nurturing positive values within yourself to create meaningful and lasting connections. Before we begin, I encourage you to show your support by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Stay tuned until the end, because every point is important and may help you see things in a new way. Let's begin. Number 1. It's always about her. Men often fight with the idea that they should hold in their feelings and not talk too much about their daily lives. This can make them feel pretty lonely, especially when they try to open up to their partners and are ignored or brushed off. Sharing personal things is hard. It's like telling someone I trust them with my thoughts and feelings. But it hurts when that trust is returned with disinterest or turned toward something unimportant. When you get a big promotion at work, you're thrilled and want to share your excitement with your partner. But she's more interested in talking about the newest gadgets or fashion trends. It's like she's saying, "Your big moment doesn't matter. Let's talk about something I find important instead." This kind of imbalance can really mess up a relationship. It's like one person's accomplishments and feelings don't matter as much as the other person's unimportant interests. That's not how a healthy relationship should work. Epicus said that because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, we can listen twice as much as we speak. This is a fancy way of saying that it's really important to care about each other's problems and listen to them. It's about celebrating each other's successes and being there for each other through good times and bad. It's important to know when your partner is being selfish or not giving you enough mental support. It's about caring about yourself and your emotional health. Sometimes that means having a serious conversation to work things out. Other times it might mean making hard choices about the relationship. Either way, it's about finding happiness and fulfillment in a relationship based on mutual care and respect. We all know how hard work can be. As a man, you have a 9-to-5 job like everyone else. Despite your busy schedule, you still make time for your family. This shows that your family is important to you and that you make time for them even when you have important things to do. Maintaining this balance between work and family duties is admirable and says a lot about how dedicated you are to your family and how well you can set goals. Seneca, an ancient Stoic philosopher, said that we are more often scared than hurt, and that we suffer more from our thoughts than from reality. This quote shows how important it is to have a positive outlook and be strong when meeting life's challenges. It tells us to think logically about situations and realize that our worries and views of problems often make them worse than they really are. But if your partner is consistently unavailable or missing in action, it makes you worry. When you shout at her, she says she's too busy or focused on work to talk. It's important to understand that when someone values a relationship, they make time for their partner first, even if they have other things to do. A healthy relationship is built on open communication and mutual respect. Any problems or issues should be discussed with empathy and understanding. Basically, keeping a balance between work and personal life is important, but genuine interest and effort in relationships should never be overlooked or compromised. To make strong connections, you need to communicate regularly and be ready to put each other's happiness and well-being first. Number 3. When you're in a relationship, it's usually not a good idea to think about past relationships. If your partner brings up their ex all the time, you should be worried. This behavior can show up in different situations, like when you're shopping together and she says, "My ex had great taste in clothes. He would have loved this outfit." These seemingly harmless comments can make you feel inadequate and unsafe in your current relationship. You should know that if she keeps comparing you to her other relationships, it's not good for building a healthy, trusting connection. Like Epicus says, this situation fits with the Stoic idea of focusing on what we can control. Use what you can to the fullest and let the rest go. You can't help but think about old relationships sometimes, and it's important to put your mental health first by dealing with Behaviors in a relationship that keep bringing up old relationships may mean that your partner hasn't fully moved on or is using the current relationship as a distraction from unresolved emotions. This can make you a rebound partner instead of someone they choose because they really want to connect with you. It's important to be aware of these patterns and not let yourself be used as a temporary emotional crutch. It might be time to reevaluate the relationship if your partner talks about their ex-partner a lot or just can't get over it. It's not good for your mental health or happiness to be in a bad position, and staying there can cause you unnecessary heartache. It's important to have open and honest conversations about boundaries and expectations in the relationship. If these talks don't lead to positive changes, you may want to think about moving on. Remember that putting your own needs first isn't selfish. It's an important part of keeping relationships healthy. 4. You're to blame. Many men in relationships miss an important red flag when a woman refuses to apologize or take responsibility for her actions. This behavior isn't just an oversight or an occasional misunderstanding. It's part of a deeper pattern of behavior that can have a big effect on the dynamics of the relationship. For example, if you make a mistake, she expects you to admit it and ask for forgiveness no matter how small the issue may be. When she does something wrong, she mysteriously puts the blame on you and absolves herself of any wrongdoing. Instead of admitting faults and working to solve the problem together, she shifts the blame onto you, creating an unhealthy and unbalanced relationship. As the wise Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." Classical advice stresses how important it is to look inside yourself and take responsibility for your actions when dealing with life's problems, including those that happen in relationships. Open communication, mutual respect, and taking turns being responsible are all important for a healthy partnership. Both partners must be willing to own up to their mistakes, sincerely apologize, and work together to find a solution and grow. If one partner ignores or downplays her own mistakes while emphasizing yours, she not only destroys trust and respect, but also starts a harmful cycle of blame and anger. It's important to be aware of this danger sign and deal with it in a mature and clear way. Remember that relationships are based on mutual responsibility, understanding, forgiveness, and appreciation. These feelings must be reciprocated and valued by both partners. If she refuses to own up to her mistakes or work toward better communication and conflict resolution, it could be a sign of deeper issues with her emotional intelligence and maturity. It's important to look at the overall health and compatibility of the relationship, and as hard as it may be, ending a relationship with these kinds of imbalances can lead to personal growth and the search for more fulfilling connections. It's important to find a partner who values honesty, compassion, and mutual respect, because these are the things that make a partnership last and mean something. There are problems in journey number 5. Communicating openly and constructively is an important part of a healthy relationship. Your partner should not only listen to your thoughts and feelings but also give you feedback that helps you grow as a person. Instead of constantly pointing out flaws or shortcomings, they should inspire and motivate you to become the best version of yourself. This builds trust and mutual respect, creating a supportive environment where both partners can thrive personally and as a couple. On the other hand, if your partner consistently lowers your self-esteem or belittles your goals, it's a clear red flag that the relationship could be toxic. Feeling comfortable in your own skin and being able to express yourself honestly are basic rights in a healthy relationship. If these important parts are being harmed by negative or constant criticism, it might be time to look at the relationship again. Being able to spot danger signs in a relationship is to have a good and fulfilling relationship. When you're with your partner, it should be a place where you can both feel supported and safe. Beyond just being there for you, it means supporting your growth and making sure you feel valued and sure of your own self-worth. Building a strong foundation on love and positivity is not only helpful, it's necessary for the relationship to grow and change in a good way over time, as the wise saying goes. Of the Stoic thinker, Seneca. This timeless quote says it all. Wherever there is a person, there is a chance to be kind. Building relationships based on understanding, support, and kindness means choosing to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. Aligns with the Stoic philosophy of putting an emphasis on good deeds and meaningful connections. Putting your mental health and personal growth first sets the stage for a fulfilling and enriching relationship. Sixth trip. A lot of women depend on their partners for emotional support, often using a phrase that's become overused, "I have no one else." However, it's important to be clear about your role in the relationship. You are her friend and equal, not her therapist or problem solver. It's not your job to diagnose or treat her mental health problems or solve all of her problems. It's natural to want to be the hero and always be there for her, but don't. You should know the limits of your job. If she seems stressed or helpless, that doesn't mean you should step in and help her. As a savior, when you play this role, you unintentionally make her more dependent on you, which could lead to an unhealthy situation where she relies too much on you for emotional stability, when what she really needs is the help and advice of a professional psychiatrist or counselor who can provide individualized mental health support. This expert help goes above and beyond what you can do as a partner and makes sure she gets full care for her health. If you don't recognize and respect these limits, it can cause tension and anger in the relationship. Over time, being the fixer all the time can be hard on your mental and emotional health, making you feel inadequate or angry. Epicurus, a famous Stoic philosopher, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This quote reminds us of how important it is to be self-aware and set realistic goals. By understanding your limitations and focusing on your own well-being, you can create a healthier dynamic within the relationship. This may even mean having open and honest conversations about getting professional help and encouraging her to take proactive steps towards her mental health journey. In the long run, putting your own mental health first and setting clear boundaries can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced relationship that's good for both you and your partner. It was nothing serious, but finding out your partner has been cheating on you is without a doubt one of the worst things that can happen in a relationship. It breaks the trust that is at the heart of any meaningful connection between two people. When this happens, it not only breaks the romantic bond, but it also hurts the mutual respect and understanding that should exist between partners. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "A lack of trust is the first step toward disintegration." After cheating, people often feel a lot of different emotions, from shock and disbelief to anger and sadness. It makes them question their beliefs about the relationship and the shared values and commitments that seemed unbreakable at first. The betrayed partner may struggle with feelings of inadequacy, wondering what they could have done differently to stop the breach of trust. In these situations, it's important to put your own self-respect and emotional health first. The cheating partner may try to downplay how bad their actions were by saying it happened only once, but it's important to understand how serious the situation is. It's not easy to rebuild trust after it's been broken, and repeated promises may not ring true after a betrayal. Infidelity also affects more than one person. Beyond just being physically involved with someone, it shows a deep lack of respect for the emotional purity of the relationship. It casts doubt and fear on the love and friendship that have been built up over time. It's not a sign of weakness to end a relationship where cheating is happening. It's a brave step toward honesty, integrity, and the search for real connections based on mutual trust and respect. As hard as it may be to break up, staying in a relationship where cheating is happening is only making things worse. Prolongs the emotional turmoil and keeps both people from achieving true happiness and satisfaction. Number 8. You're being too sensitive. Oh no. When you say it to your partner, this seemingly harmless comment can make them feel bad. It's not enough to be sensitive. A relationship also needs respect and empathy. It's disappointing when your partner enjoys making fun of your mistakes or treating your deepest losses as unimportant. When you finally get the courage to talk about these hurtful actions, instead of understanding or an apology, you're met with an insulting comment about your sensitivity. People often say that you should be able to handle criticism or teasing with mental toughness. However, there is a thin line between harmless banter and hurtful behavior, especially when it comes to your partner, who should be your source of support and understanding. As the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." It's a red flag when your partner not only doesn't recognize your valid feelings but also uses them against you. This is also true in relationships. Insults that are meant to be funny or comparisons to other people's wins will only make you feel bad about your own worth. It's important to know when these kinds of exchanges turn unhealthy and hurtful to your health. Surrounding yourself with people who support and help you grow is important for your own growth and happiness. You can expect your partner to respect, care about, and be kind to you, and it's important to set limits when those needs aren't met. 9. Obey me in many relationships. Relationships should be a source of support and positivity, not a constant fight to show how strong you are against hurtful comments. Women often plan their male partner's social lives. They might ask if they can spend time with friends or make plans, which is fine, and shows that the couple is healthy if they support each other's social lives. But if this care turns into controlling behavior, it's a problem. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said that freedom is the only worthwhile goal in life, because it lets us ignore things we can't change. This quote stresses how important it is to keep your personal freedom and not give in to unwanted impact in relationships. If your partner starts to demand obedience or asks you to give up your hobbies and time with friends, that's a red flag. It's fine for her to have preferences about your friends, but limiting your time with them is worrying. If she gives you ultimatums saying you have to choose between her and your friends, it's time to think about ending the relationship. Remember that your happiness and freedom are paramount, and giving them up for someone else's control is not healthy. Epictetus's teachings tell us to put our own freedom and health first. If you want to deal with problems in your relationships, you need to be able to communicate clearly. Talking about needs, limits, and standards in an open and honest way can help people understand and respect each other in healthy relationships. Find a mix between their own interests and activities they do with others. It's important to spot warning signs like ultimatums that force a choice between a partner and social circles, so that both partners can keep in touch with friends and follow personal interests without feeling stifled or controlled. Epictetus's wise words tell us that giving up our own happiness and freedom for the sake of keeping things the same in a relationship is not a good idea. True happiness in relationships comes from supporting each other, respecting each other's rights, and letting each other follow their own interests and connections outside of the relationship. If a relationship becomes suffocating or stops you from growing and being happy, you may need to reevaluate your goals and make choices that put your overall health first. Epictetus's teachings still speak to people today, telling them to see and seek what they want. Personal freedom and meaningful connections in relationships. Number 10. You are cheating. Claims of cheating can really mess up a relationship, causing a lot of mistrust and bad feelings if they're not handled carefully. In a good relationship, it's very important to be understanding and kind while also standing up for yourself and what you know is right. When someone accuses you of cheating without any real proof, it's important to try to figure out why they're feeling that way. Sometimes past hurts, insecurities, or just not talking openly can make someone feel really jealous and suspicious. It's important to talk about these feelings honestly and without blaming each other so you can understand where the other person is coming from and work through it together. As the saying goes, trust yourself, and others will trust you too. That means staying true to your values and beliefs even when things get tough. But it's also important to set limits and deal with any behaviors like constantly accusing you without reason. If you see early signs of mistrust, like your partner going through your stuff or always asking where you've been, it's important to talk about it in a quiet and polite way. Rebuilding trust in your relationship can be done by talking things out, respecting each other, and facing problems together. If the accusations keep coming even after you've tried to work things out, you might need to get outside help or rethink the relationship altogether. In the end, false accusations of cheating can hurt both people in the relationship. By building trust by talking things out and respecting each other, couples can get through hard times and come out stronger. As the saying goes, trusting yourself is key to earning trust from others, which shows how important it is to stay true to yourself, even in tough situations. There are a few important things that you must do In order to have a happy and successful relationship with a woman, it's important to look into these things to make sure that partners have a good base and understand each other. As with everyone else, women's feelings have a big impact on how they act and what they choose to do. But this emotional power shouldn't make people forget how important it is to be logical and consistent in their relationships. First and foremost, keeping a sense of mutual respect is important. This means treating each other with respect, kindness, and care, even when you disagree or face a problem. Respect is the basis on which trust, appreciation, and a real bond are built in a relationship. Furthermore, good conversation is a key part of building understanding and resolving disagreements. Partners can clearly say what they think, feel, and need when they talk to each other in an open and honest way. This creates a safe place for vulnerability and intimacy. Along with respect and communication, it requires active listening, empathy, and a desire to see things from the other person's point of view without judging or defending them. Shared values and goals are important for a happy relationship, but differences can be beneficial as well. Agreeing on basic values like honesty, integrity, and commitment makes the bond stronger between partners. It gives them a sense of unity and purpose, encouraging them to work together and support each other through life's challenges and celebrate their successes together. Trust is also an important part of a healthy relationship. Being consistent, dependable, and open in your actions and words is what builds trust. It means keeping your promises, being dependable, and respecting limits. Trust is what makes people feel safe and secure, and it lets them be honest and open without worrying about being betrayed or judged. Supporting each other's personal goals, hobbies, and self-care practices is also important for personal growth and self-care within the partnership. Helps people live balanced and happy lives, both as individuals and as a couple. Encourages self-expression, self-exploration, and self-improvement. Strengthens the bond by recognizing and celebrating each other's unique traits. And on the other hand, ignoring warning signs or putting up with bad behavior can hurt the relationship's health and happiness. It's important to deal with problems like manipulation, disrespect, or lack of empathy right away, and get professional help if you need it. Healthy limits. Respecting yourself and caring about your emotional health are important for making a relationship last. To sum up, if you want to have a happy and healthy relationship with a woman, you need to take a multifaceted approach that puts respect, communication, shared values, trust, personal growth, and emotional health at the top of the list. Partners can build a strong and lasting connection based on love, support, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. The journey to building and maintaining a healthy relationship is an ongoing one that requires constant effort, understanding, and adaptability. As partners go through life's challenges together, growing stronger and closer with each shared experience. Thank you for coming along with me as I try to figure out how women think and act. That you are here today to talk about something interesting and important for improving our relationships is something I appreciate. The information and ideas we talked about today should have made you think and given you useful insights that can improve how you interact with the women in your life. If you related to the ideas we talked about and found them helpful, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below this video. Your feedback not only builds community, but also helps us make future content that effectively addresses your specific interests and concerns. Also, don't forget to watch the videos that go with this one. Linked in the end screen, these resources give you more information and in-depth talks on related topics, giving you a full picture of the many aspects of relationships and how people interact with each other. Thanks for taking the time to read this and give it your full attention. I can't wait for our next trip together to be full of interesting conversations and growth for both of us. Until we meet again. When you're in a relationship, keep an open mind and treat the other person with empathy and understanding. This will help you make deep bonds and keep exploring.